"What are you doing out here in the cold, kid?" the man asked, his voice cutting through the swirling snowflakes on that fateful Christmas Eve. In the heart of Detroit's frozen streets, Nicholas Harper, a 35-year-old CEO of Apex Automotive, was heading home from his office, bearing his grief in endless work as he had every holiday since losing his wife Claire in a tragic car accident 2 years ago. But fate intervened when he spotted 8-year-old Logan rummaging through a trash bin, his small frame shivering in rags. Confused and compelled, Nicholas stopped his SUV. The orphan boy shared his heartbreaking story. Parents killed in a crash when he was 4, years of street survival following. Touched by the echo of his own loss, Nicholas brought Logan home, offering not just a Christmas meal, but a promise of warmth he'd never known, and opening up about his lonely years. If this tale tugs at your heart, hit subscribe and let me know in the comments. Where are you tuning in from, and what time is it there? Stick around. Will this chance encounter heal 2 broken souls or unravel hidden secrets that change everything? Your guess, a miracle of family reborn. "What are you doing out here in the cold, kid?" Nicholas Harper's voice sliced through the swirling snow like a blade, echoing off the frost-covered warehouses lining Detroit's desolate industrial district. The words hung in the air, heavy with a mix of confusion and an inexplicable pull that made his heart stutter. He hadn't planned to stop. Hell, he hadn't planned to notice anything beyond the monotonous hum of his SUV's engine and the ghosts of holidays past. But there the boy was, a tiny shadow hunched over a rusted trash bin, his small hands digging desperately through frozen refuse as if salvation lay buried in the decay. The boy froze, his head snapping up with the wariness of a cornered animal. 8 years old, maybe, thin, ragged, with eyes too old for his face, gleaming like shattered glass under the dim streetlight. Snow clung to his matted brown hair, and his threadbare jacket, patched with duct tape, offered no real barrier against the biting wind that howled through the empty streets. He clutched a half-eaten apple core like a lifeline, his knuckles white and cracked from the cold. For a split second, time suspended, the world narrowing to this improbable encounter on Christmas Eve. Nicholas stepped closer, his polished leather boots crunching on the icy pavement, a stark contrast to the boy's worn sneakers leaking slush. At 35, Nicholas was the epitome of corporate success, CEO of Apex Automotive, the powerhouse redefining electric vehicles with sleek designs and cutting-edge tech. His life was a whirlwind of board meetings, prototype unveilings, and multi-million-dollar deals that kept him globetrotting. But success came at a price. 2 years ago, on a rain-slicked highway not far from here, his wife Claire had been taken in a senseless crash. A distracted driver, a hydroplaning semi-truck. It was over in seconds. Claire, vibrant and full of dreams for a family they were just starting to plan, gone. Since then, Nicholas had armored himself in work, turning holidays into marathons of spreadsheets and strategy sessions. Christmas? Just another day to drown the emptiness in blueprints and bottom lines. Tonight was no different. He'd lingered at the office until the last light flicked off, poring over specs for the new Apex Thunderbolt, a hybrid SUV that promised to revolutionize urban mobility. The building's echoing halls had been his sanctuary, far from the festive glow of family gatherings he could no longer bear. Driving home to his sprawling Birmingham estate felt like a sentence, the silence waiting there a cruel reminder of what he'd lost. But now this boy, Logan, as he'd soon learn, shattered that isolation like a crack in ice. The kid didn't bolt, though his body tensed as if ready to. "Just looking for something to eat," he muttered, his voice barely audible over the wind, laced with defiance born of too many hard knocks. His breath puffed out in white clouds, mingling with the falling snow that blanketed the city in a deceptive peace. Nicholas felt a pang, sharp and unfamiliar, twisting in his gut. He wasn't the type to meddle. Charity galas and corporate donations were his way of giving back, arm's-length philanthropy that kept emotions at bay. But something in the boy's eyes mirrored his own hollow stare in the mirror each morning. "It's freezing out here. You got a place to go? Family?" Logan's gaze dropped to the ground, kicking at a clump of snow. No family, not anymore. The words were flat, stripped of self-pity, but they carried the weight of worlds unspoken. Nicholas hesitated, the rational part of him screaming to call child services or drive on. But the night felt charged, the snowflakes dancing like fate's cruel confetti. Come on, kid, get in the car. I'll get you something warm. He gestured to his SUV, the engine still idling with a low purr, heat blasting from the vents. Logan eyed him suspiciously, weighing the offer against the risks he'd learned on the streets. Strangers meant danger. Offers of help often came with strings. But the cold was relentless, gnawing at his bones, and the man's face held no malice, just a weary kindness that felt real. Slowly he nodded, slipping the apple core into his pocket like a treasure before climbing into the passenger seat. As Nicholas slid back behind the wheel, the warmth of the cabin enveloped them, thawing the frost on Logan's cheeks. The boy sat rigid, hands folded in his lap, stealing glances at the dashboard's glowing screens and leather seats that screamed luxury. Nicholas pulled away from the curb, the city lights blurring into streaks as they merged onto the highway. Name's Nicholas, he said, breaking the silence. What's yours? Logan, the boy replied, his voice gaining a fraction of strength. I'm 8. 8, huh? That's a tough age to be out alone on Christmas Eve. Nicholas kept his tone light, but curiosity burned. What happened to your folks? Logan's fingers twisted the hem of his jacket, the fabric fraying under the pressure. They died. Car accident. I was 4. Lived with my grandpa after. But he got sick last year. Gone too. The story spilled out in fragments, each word a pebble in a river of sorrow. Foster homes that didn't stick, running away to avoid the system, surviving on scraps and shadows for months that felt like lifetimes. Nicholas gripped the steering wheel tighter, the parallels hitting like a collision. Claire's accident replayed in his mind. The screech of tires, the shattered glass, the void that followed. I lost someone too, he admitted, voice low. My wife, 2 years ago. Same way. Car crash. It's like a hole that never fills. Logan turned to him, eyes wide with a flicker of connection. Does it ever stop hurting? Nicholas swallowed hard, the estate's gates looming ahead. Not really, but maybe sharing the hurt makes it lighter. He pulled into the driveway, the mansion's facade aglow with automated holiday lights Claire had programmed years ago. Red and green twinkles mocking the emptiness inside. Stepping out, Nicholas led Logan through the grand foyer, the boys' sneakers squeaking on marble floors. The air smelled of pine from the towering Christmas tree in the living room, ornaments glinting like forgotten memories. Make yourself at home, Nicholas said, shedding his coat. I'll heat some soup. You like chicken noodle? Logan nodded, hovering near the door as if ready to flee, but the warmth seeped in, melting his defenses. Nicholas busied himself in the kitchen, the clatter of pots a welcome distraction. As the soup simmered, he poured hot chocolate, topping it with marshmallows, Claire's recipe, untouched since her passing. They sat at the island, Logan devouring the meal with quiet ferocity. Between bites, stories emerged. Logan's nights huddled in alleys, dodging dangers. Nicholas's endless work days to escape the silence. I promise you this, Nicholas said, meeting the boy's gaze. Tonight, you're not alone. Stay, celebrate Christmas with me. I'll give you the warmth you've been missing. Logan's eyes shimmered, a tentative smile breaking through. Really? Really? Nicholas felt a crack in his armor, the first in years. As the clock struck midnight, snow tapping against the windows, 2 souls forged in loss began to bridge the chasm. But what secrets lie buried in Logan's past? And could Nicholas truly open his heart, or would the ghosts of yesterday pull them under? The chime of the antique clock in the foyer echoed through the mansion like a distant memory, marking the stroke of midnight as snowflakes continued their relentless dance against the frost-laced panes. Nicholas watched Logan finish the last spoonful of soup, the boy's cheeks flushing with color from the warmth and sustenance that had been so scarce in his young life. A tentative trust flickered in those wide eyes, but beneath it lurked shadows. Shadows Nicholas recognized all too well. the kind that clawed at you in the quiet hours, refusing to let go. Feel better? Nicholas asked, clearing the bowls with a casualness that belied the storm brewing inside him. His mind raced, piecing together the fragments Logan had shared: the accident that stole his parents, the grandfather's illness, the streets that had become both prison and teacher. It was a tale too raw for an 8-year-old, yet Logan recounted it with a stoic detachment that twisted Nicholas's gut. He poured more hot chocolate, the steam rising like unspoken questions. Yeah, Logan murmured, wiping his mouth on his sleeve before catching himself and using the napkin Nicholas had set out. This place, it's huge, like a castle. His gaze wandered the kitchen, granite counters gleaming under recessed lights, state-of-the-art appliances humming softly, a far cry from the alleys and dumpsters that had been his domain. Nicholas chuckled softly, though it held no real mirth. It feels empty most days, too big for one person. He leaned against the counter, arms crossed, studying the boy. The parallels were eerie, both orphaned by twisted metal and fate's cruel hand. Claire's face flashed in his mind, her laugh, her touch, the way she dreamed of filling this house with children's voices. Now here was Logan, an unexpected echo of those unfulfilled wishes. Tell me more about your grandpa. What was he like? Logan's fingers traced patterns on the mug, hesitation etching his features. He was tough, worked in a factory, fixing cars, taught me how to change a tire once, said it'd come in handy. A small smile tugged at his lips, fleeting as a snowflake melting on skin. But he got sick, coughing all the time. Doctors said it was from the fumes or something. I tried to help, but I couldn't. His voice cracked, the bravado slipping to reveal the child beneath. Nicholas nodded, the weight of shared grief settling between them like an old friend. I get it. After Claire, my wife, I threw myself into work, designed cars that could prevent accidents like hers, better sensors, smarter brakes. But it doesn't bring her back. He paused, vulnerability creeping in unbidden. Nights like this, I wonder if I'm just running from it all. Logan's eyes met his, a spark of understanding igniting. I run too. From the shelters, from people who say they'll help but don't. He set the mug down, hands fidgeting. Why'd you stop for me? Most people drive by. The question hung heavy, forcing Nicholas to confront the impulse that had derailed his solitary night. Honestly, you reminded me of me, I guess. Lost, trying to scrape by. He straightened, gesturing toward the living room. Come on, let's get you settled. There's a guest room upstairs. Clean sheets, warm blankets. No more cold streets tonight. Logan followed, his steps tentative on the plush carpet, eyes widening at the opulence. Vaulted ceilings, a grand piano gathering dust, walls lined with photos of Nicholas in tailored suits at auto shows, shaking hands with industry titans. One frame caught his eye. A wedding photo, Nicholas beaming beside a radiant woman with auburn hair and a smile that lit the room. That's her? Your wife? Yeah, Claire. Nicholas's voice softened, fingers brushing the glass. She loved Christmas, would have baked cookies, strung lights everywhere. This tree? He nodded at the artificial pine in the corner, its branches heavy with ornaments. Her doing. I keep it up for, I don't know, tradition? Logan reached out, touching a silver bauble that dangled like a promise. My mom used to sing carols. Dad would pretend to hate it, but he'd join in. His voice wavered, the memory a double-edged sword. Haven't had a real Christmas since. Nicholas felt a surge of resolve, the kind that cut through his self-imposed isolation. Well, tonight we change that. Wait here. He disappeared into the pantry, returning with a box of forgotten decorations, tinsel, stockings, even a string of fairy lights Claire had bought on a whim. Together they draped the lights around the tree, Logan's laughter bubbling up as they tangled in the cords. It was clumsy, imperfect, but in those moments the mansion felt less like a tomb and more like a home. As they worked, stories flowed freer. Logan spoke of dodging cops in the park, scavenging from food trucks, and the kindness of a street vendor who'd slip him extras. Nicholas shared tales of late-night designs, the thrill of unveiling a new model, but also the hollow victories without Claire to celebrate them. She believed in second chances, he said, plugging in the lights. The room burst into a soft glow, illuminating their faces. Maybe this is mine. Logan's eyes shimmered under the twinkles. Mine too? The question was laced with hope, fragile as glass. Nicholas knelt to his level, placing a hand on the boy's shoulder. Yours too. But Logan, if there's more to your story, anyone I should call, or if you're in trouble, tell me. We can figure it out. The boy bit his lip, a shadow crossing his face. There's nothing. Just me. But his eyes darted away, a hint of something unspoken lingering. Nicholas let it go for now, the night too young for deeper probes. Instead, he fetched blankets and pillows, turning the couch into a makeshift fort by the fire. Sleep here if you want, safer than a big empty room. Logan curled up, exhaustion claiming him swiftly, his breathing evening out as flames crackled. Nicholas watched from an armchair, the weight of the evening settling. What had he done? Inviting a stranger, a child, into his world on a whim? Yet as Logan's small form relaxed in sleep, a warmth spread through Nicholas, thawing the ice around his heart. But dawn would bring realities, questions from authorities, the boy's hidden pains, and Nicholas's demons refusing to stay buried. As the fire died to embers, a photo of Claire seemed to watch, her smile urging him forward. Could this be the start of healing, or the unraveling of secrets that would test them both? The snow outside thickened, blanketing the world in silence, while inside, two fractured lives began to intertwine, fragile threads in a tapestry of fate. Sunlight pierced the heavy curtains like hesitant fingers, casting golden slivers across the living room, where embers smoldered in the hearth. Nicholas stirred in the armchair, his neck stiff from a night of fitful dozing, the weight of decisions pressing heavier than the blanket draped over him. Logan's form on the couch rose and fell in a steady rhythm. The boy's face softened in sleep, free from the guarded edges that defined his waking hours. Nicholas rubbed his eyes, the events of the night replaying in vivid flashes, the trash bin, the shared confessions, the fragile bridge they'd built under twinkling lights. What now? The question loomed, practical and insistent, as the world outside began to stir. He rose quietly, careful not to wake the boy, and padded to the kitchen. Coffee brewed with a familiar gurgle, the aroma grounding him amid the chaos of emotions. Claire's mug sat on the shelf, untouched since that last morning together, porcelain with a faded "World's Best Wife" script. He reached for it instinctively, filling it instead of his own, a small act of remembrance that stung. As the machine hissed to a stop, soft footsteps approached. Logan appeared in the doorway, rubbing sleep from his eyes, the oversized blanket trailing like a cape. "Morning," Nicholas said, offering a smile that felt genuine for the first time in ages. "Hungry. I make a mean scrambled eggs." Logan nodded, climbing onto a stool at the island, his gaze curious rather than wary. "Smells good. Grandpa used to make eggs with cheese. Said it was his secret weapon." The mention hung lightly, a thread pulling them closer. Nicholas cracked eggs into a bowl, whisking with vigor. "Cheese it is, then. Secret weapons are my specialty, part of designing cars that outsmart the road." He heated the pan, the sizzle filling the air as he added ingredients, the mundane task weaving normalcy into their extraordinary meeting. Plates soon steamed before them, and Logan dug in with relish, pausing only to glance around. "You got any toys or stuff? For kids, I mean." The question caught Nicholas off guard, a reminder of the life he'd paused after Claire. "Not really. Claire and we talked about it, but never got there." He sat across from Logan, fork idle. "What do you like? Trucks? Video games?" "Trucks," Logan said through a mouthful, eyes lighting up. "Grandpa had model cars. We'd build them together." He mimed assembling parts, enthusiasm breaking through his shell. Nicholas's mind sparked. "I've got something better. After breakfast, I'll show you the garage." They ate in companionable silence, broken by Logan's occasional questions about the house, the tree, even Nicholas's job. "You make cars?" Like, real ones that go fast? Faster than you can imagine, Nicholas replied, pride edging his voice. Want to see? Logan's nod was eager, and soon they ventured to the attached garage, the door humming open to reveal a cavernous space lined with prototypes. Gleaming under fluorescent lights sat the Apex Vortex, a sleek electric coupe with aerodynamic curves and holographic displays. Logan's jaw dropped, fingers hovering over the hood as if it were sacred. Can I touch it? Go ahead, it's tougher than it looks. Nicholas opened the door, letting Logan slide into the driver's seat. The boy gripped the wheel, pretending to race, engine noises bubbling from his lips. Laughter echoed, a sound foreign in this space since Claire's joyrides with him. As Logan explored, Nicholas's phone buzzed, a reminder of the real world intruding. He stepped aside, dialing his lawyer, Elena Vargas, who'd handled Claire's estate with unflinching efficiency. Elena, it's Nicholas. I need advice. Discreet. Her voice was crisp, professional. What's going on? Merger trouble? No, I picked up a kid last night. Homeless, orphaned. He's here now. He glanced at Logan, who was now under the hood, peering at the battery pack. I want to help him. Long term. A pause stretched. Nicholas, this is serious. You can't just keep a child. Call child services immediately. They handle placements. I know, but he's like me. Lost his parents in a crash. I can't send him back to the streets. Urgency laced his words. What if I pursue guardianship? Adoption? Elena's sigh carried over the line. It's possible, but complicated. Background checks, home studies, proving stability. And if he has family, she trailed off. I'll connect you with a social worker. But Nicholas, be careful. Emotions cloud judgment. Hanging up, Nicholas felt the ground shift. Logan emerged from the car, face smeared with imaginary grease. This is awesome. Can we drive it? Not yet, kid. Safety first. Nicholas ruffled his hair, masking his turmoil. But soon. First, we need to talk about next steps. Logan's expression clouded, the joy fading. You calling the cops? Foster care? No, Nicholas assured, guiding him back inside. But we have to do this right. People who can help make sure you're safe. He sat Logan on the couch, kneeling to eye level. I meant what I said last night. You're not alone anymore. But tell me, anything else I should know? Anyone looking for you? Logan's gaze flickered, a hesitation that prickled Nicholas's instincts. No one, but sometimes I dream about the accident, the lights, the noise. He shivered, pulling the blanket close. Grandpa said to forget, but I can't. Nicholas wrapped an arm around him, the contact awkward but sincere. Neither can I. Claire's car, it was one of mine. I redesigned the safety features after, but it haunts me. Sharing the burden felt like shedding armor, piece by piece. The doorbell rang, startling them both. An unexpected delivery, perhaps? Nicholas peered through the peephole, heart skipping. A woman in a coat stood there, clipboard in hand. Mr. Harper? Elena Vargas sent me. I'm Sarah Klein from Child Services. Panic surged. Elena moved fast, too fast. Nicholas opened the door, ushering her in. Sarah's eyes softened at Logan, who shrank back. I understand this is sudden. Elena briefed me. We need to assess the situation. Logan clutched Nicholas's sleeve. Don't let her take me. Sarah knelt, voice gentle. I'm here to help, Logan. Tell me your story. As Logan recounted his past, haltingly, with details that matched the night before, Sarah noted everything, her expression shifting from professional to empathetic. You've been through hell, kid. Mr. Harper, your intentions seem good, but protocol demands a temporary placement while we verify. Nicholas's jaw tightened. He stays here. I'll sign whatever. Emergency custody. Sarah hesitated, glancing between them. It's irregular, but given the holiday, I can approve a 72-hour hold. But we'll dig into records. Any relatives could complicate things. Logan's eyes widened. Relatives? Like Uncle Mike? The name dropped like a bomb. Nicholas turned. Who's Uncle Mike? Logan fidgeted. Mom's brother. He didn't want me after the crash. Said I was trouble. The admission hung, a crack in the narrative. Sarah's pen scratched furiously. We'll check. If he's unfit, options open. As she left, promising a follow-up, tension thickened. Nicholas faced Logan. Why didn't you mention him? Scared, Logan whispered. He yelled a lot, hit sometimes. Protective fire ignited in Nicholas. You're safe now. No one's taking you without a fight. But as they spent the afternoon building model cars from Nicholas's old kits, fingers sticky with glue, laughter mingling with instructions, the revelation gnawed. Uncle Mike, a potential threat, a ghost from Logan's past that could shatter this budding bond. What secrets did he hold? And would Nicholas's resolve withstand the storm brewing? Outside, snow ceased, leaving a crisp clarity. Inside, uncertainty swirled, drawing them closer even as forces conspired to pull apart. The clatter of plastic pieces scattering across the coffee table punctuated the afternoon's fragile peace, as Logan's small hands fumbled with a stubborn axle on the model car. Nicholas knelt beside him, steadying the chassis with a gentle touch, their heads bent close in concentration. The scent of glue lingered, mingling with the faint pine from the tree, creating an illusion of domestic bliss that Nicholas clung to amid the undercurrent of dread. Uncle Mike, the name echoed in his mind like a warning siren, a loose thread threatening to unravel the tapestry they'd just begun weaving. Got it! Logan exclaimed, snapping the wheel into place, his grin chasing away the shadows from moments earlier. He revved the tiny engine with imaginary vroom sounds, racing it across the rug. Nicholas watched, a swell of affection catching him off guard. This kid, with his resilient spirit and quick wit, had infiltrated the fortress of his solitude in less than a day. But Sarah's words loomed. Relatives could complicate things. What if Uncle Mike wasn't just a bad memory? What if he wanted Logan back? Pushing the thought aside, Nicholas ruffled the boy's hair. You're a natural. Ever thought about engineering? Apex could use a mind like yours someday. The words slipped out, painting a future that felt tantalizingly real. Mentoring Logan, showing him the ropes of the auto world, building something lasting from the wreckage of their lives. Logan's eyes sparkled, but a flicker of doubt crossed his face. If I stay, you mean? He set the car down, tracing its curves with a finger. Uncle Mike, he might come. He always said family sticks together, but he didn't mean it nicely. Nicholas's jaw tightened, protective instincts flaring. Tell me about him. What happened after your parents? Logan leaned back against the couch, drawing his knees up as if shielding himself. He showed up at the funeral, Mom's brother from Ohio, took me in for a bit, but he drank a lot, yelled when things went wrong. Once the boy's voice trailed, hand unconsciously rubbing his arm. Hit me with a belt, said it was discipline. Grandpa found out and took me away. But Uncle Mike called sometimes, angry, saying I owed him. Rage simmered in Nicholas, hot and unbidden. That's not family, that's abuse. He pulled Logan into a side hug, the contact more natural now. No one's touching you again, I promise. But promises felt hollow against the system's gears, already turning with Sarah's investigation. As evening descended, casting long shadows through the floor-to-ceiling windows, Nicholas suggested a movie to lighten the mood. They settled on the couch with popcorn, Claire's favorite, buttery and salty, flipping through options until Logan pointed at an animated adventure about a lost boy finding his way home. The irony wasn't lost on Nicholas, but the film's vibrant colors and uplifting score wrapped them in a cocoon of escapism. Logan laughed at the antics, inching closer until his head rested on Nicholas's shoulder, trust blooming like a tentative flower. Halfway through, Nicholas's phone vibrated. Elena. He muted the TV, stepping to the kitchen. What have you got? Background on the uncle, she said, voice clipped. Michael Hargrove, 42, lives in Cleveland. Rap sheet, DUIs, assault charges, mostly bar fights. Lost custody of his kid years ago. But he's blood, Nicholas. If he contests, courts favor family. Nicholas glanced at Logan, engrossed in the screen. He abused him. That's got to count. It does, but proving it, Logan's word against his. I'll pull strings for a fast hearing, but brace yourself. She paused. You sure about this? Adoption's a marathon, not a sprint. I'm in, Nicholas replied, conviction stealing his tone. He's already changing everything. Hanging up, he returned to the couch, but the movie's magic had faded. Logan sensed the shift. Was that about me? Nicholas nodded, opting for honesty. Your uncle. We're checking him out, but you're staying here tonight, and as long as I can make it. Logan's face paled, but he straightened. I don't want to go back. He scares me. Then softer. Can we finish the movie? They did, the hero's triumph mirroring Nicholas's quiet vow. As credits rolled, Logan yawned, eyelids drooping. Nicholas carried him upstairs to the guest room. Claire's old study, now a haven with fresh linens and a nightlight plugged in for comfort. Tucking him in, Nicholas lingered. Good night, kid. Sweet dreams. Night, Logan murmured, clutching a pillow. Thanks, for everything. Downstairs, Nicholas poured a scotch, the amber liquid swirling as he paced. The house felt alive with Logan's presence. Echoes of laughter, the faint scent of popcorn, but vulnerability gnawed. What if Uncle Mike fought dirty? What skeletons hid in Logan's story? His phone buzzed again, a text from Sarah. Records show Hargrove inquired about Logan last year. Claimed guardianship. Tread carefully. Adrenaline surged. Nicholas dialed Elena back. We need dirt on Hargrove. Fast. Already on it, she assured. But Nicholas, get Logan's full story. Kids bury things. The night deepened, stars piercing the clear sky as Nicholas sat by the window, glass in hand. Upstairs, Logan tossed in sleep, murmurs escaping. No, don't. A nightmare perhaps of belts and shouts. Nicholas climbed the stairs, easing into the room to soothe him. It's okay. You're safe. Logan settled, but the incident fueled Nicholas's resolve. Morning brought action. He called Apex's head of security, a former detective named Reyes. Run a deep dive on Michael Hargrove, everything. Finances, associates, dirt. Reyes whistled. Boss, this personal? Very. Nicholas hung up, joining Logan for breakfast. Pancakes this time, stacked high with syrup. The boy wolfed them down, chatter turning to school dreams. I want to learn about cars like you. Nicholas smiled, masking worry. You will. But first, adventure today. How about the auto museum downtown? See real classics. Logan's excitement was infectious, but as they prepared to leave, the doorbell rang again. Sarah, unannounced, with a folder. Update. Hargrove's been notified. He's filing for custody. Nicholas's blood ran cold. Over my dead body. Sarah eyed him. Then prepare for war. Court date set. 2 weeks. Logan, overhearing from the hall, froze. He's coming for me? Nicholas knelt, fierce. Not if I stop him. But as they headed out, the museum's wonders, vintage Fords, sleek concepts, faded against the brewing storm. Hargrove's shadow lengthened, secrets whispering of trials ahead. Would Nicholas uncover the truth in time, or would the past claim Logan, shattering their nascent bond? The museum's grand atrium enveloped them in a symphony of echoes, vintage engines rumbling from interactive displays, and the hum of families weaving through exhibits like threads in a vast tapestry. Nicholas guided Logan past a gleaming 1920s Model T, the boy's hand small and trusting in his, a lifeline amid the storm Sarah's words had unleashed. Hargrove filing for custody, it was a dagger poised, ready to sever the fragile connection they'd forged. But here, surrounded by the evolution of automobiles, Nicholas focused on the present, on Logan's wide-eyed wonder that mirrored his passion ignited decades ago. Look at that, Logan exclaimed, pressing his nose against the glass encasing a cherry-red Corvette Stingray, its curves a testament to speed and innovation. Bet it goes super fast. Faster than your Vortex? Nicholas chuckled, kneeling beside him to share the view. Close, but the Vortex has electric torque, 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds, with AI that predicts hazards before they happen. He pointed to the plaque, reading aloud about the car's history, his voice weaving education with enthusiasm. Logan's questions poured out. How do engines work? Why electric now? Nicholas answered each, sketching diagrams on a napkin from the cafe, their impromptu lesson drawing smiles from passers-by. Yet beneath the joy, tension simmered. Nicholas's phone vibrated incessantly. Text from Reyes, updates on Hargrove. He silenced it, determined not to let shadows eclipse the day. They moved to the hands-on zone, where Logan climbed into a simulator, gripping the wheel as virtual roads unfurled. "Whoa, it's like flying!" he yelled over the roar, Nicholas coaching from the side. "Eyes on the curve! Anticipate!" As the session ended, Logan's cheeks flushed with exhilaration, and he turned to Nicholas. "This is the best day ever." "Thanks, Dad." The words slipped out, tentative and unbidden, hanging between them like a fragile ornament. Nicholas's breath caught, emotion swelling in his chest. "Logan?" He pulled the boy into a hug, the museum's bustle fading. "I'd like that, more than anything." But the slip ignited a fire. He couldn't lose this now. Not to a man like Hargrove. They grabbed lunch at the museum cafe, burgers and fries, Logan's favorite, chatting about dream cars. "I'd make one that flies," Logan declared, ketchup smudged on his chin. Nicholas laughed, wiping it away, the paternal gesture feeling instinctive. Back home, the estate's gates clicked shut behind them, sealing out the world but not the encroaching dread. Reyes called as they entered. "Boss, got intel on Hargrove. Sketchy finances, debts piling up, owes bookies big, assault convictions. Yeah, but whispers of worse. Possible involvement in shady deals, maybe even fencing stolen auto parts. No direct link to Logan yet, but he inquired about the kid last month. Claimed inheritance or something." Nicholas's grip tightened on the phone, glancing at Logan raiding the fridge for soda. "Inheritance? From what?" "Grandpa's estate, small policy, but Hargrove thinks Logan's key to claiming it. Greedy bastard. I'll dig deeper." Hanging up, Nicholas joined Logan in the kitchen. "Hey, buddy, about your uncle. Did he ever mention money? From your grandpa?" Logan's face darkened. Sodakin paused mid-sip. "Yeah. After Grandpa died, he called the shelter I was at. Said there was money for me, but he needed to take care of it. I ran before he showed." Fear etched his features. "He's not good, Nicholas. Please don't let him." "I won't." Nicholas pulled him close, resolve hardening like steel. "We're fighting this." He texted Elena. "Push for emergency hearing. Use the abuse history." Evening brought more revelations. Sarah arrived unannounced, folder thicker now. "Hargrove's petition claims you're unfit. A stranger harboring a runaway. He's pushing for immediate removal." Nicholas's blood boiled. "He's the abuser. Logan's terrified." Sarah nodded sympathetically. "We need evidence. Logan's statement helps, but medical records, witnesses, anything." She turned to the boy. "Logan, did he ever hurt you bad enough for a doctor?" Logan nodded slowly. "Once. Broke my arm. Said I fell." Tears welled. "Grandpa took me to the ER, but Uncle Mike made me lie." Sarah's eyes sharpened. "That's leverage. I'll request those records." As she left, promising updates, Nicholas felt the noose tightening. He couldn't wait. Time to confront the beast. That night, after tucking Logan in with stories of racing legends, Nicholas dialed Hargrove's number, sourced from Reyes. It rang twice before a gruff voice answered. "Who the hell is this?" "Nicholas Harper. Logan's with me. I know what you did to him." A pause, then a bark of laughter. "The rich guy? Kid's my blood. You got no right." "He's safe now," Nicholas shot back, voice steady. "Drop the claim, or I'll expose everything. Abuse, debts, your scams." Hargrove's tone turned venomous. "You think you can buy him? That money's mine. Kid's ticket to it. I'll fight dirty if I have to. Tell Logan Uncle Mike's coming home." The line went dead, threat lingering like smoke. Nicholas paced, adrenaline surging. He checked on Logan, finding him asleep, clutching the model car like a talisman. Vulnerability hit hard. This boy had wormed into his heart, filling voids he hadn't acknowledged. Morning dawned with purpose. Nicholas woke Logan early. "We're building your case today. Tell me everything about Uncle Mike. Places, people who saw." Logan's recounting was harrowing. Hidden bruises, locked rooms, the fear that choked his childhood. Nicholas recorded it all, forwarding to Elena. Reyes texted, "Found a witness, neighbor who heard the fights. Statement incoming. They spent the day fortifying, lawyer meetings via video, Sarah's follow-up with ER files confirming the fall. Logan's arm scar, faint but telling, became Exhibit A. Amid the intensity, they bonded over a backyard snowball fight, laughter piercing the chill, a defiant stand against the encroaching dark. But as dusk fell, a knock echoed. Not Sarah, but a courier with a summons. Hargrove's lawsuit, defamation, kidnapping accusations. The war had escalated. Nicholas stared at the papers, fire in his eyes. He wants dirty? We'll give him the truth. Logan's hand slipped into his. We're a team, right? Always. But as night cloaked the estate, doubts whispered. Could they win against blood ties and buried sins? Or would Hargrove's shadows engulf them, tearing apart the family they were becoming? The summons papers lay crumpled on the kitchen island like a venomous snake coiled to strike. Hargrove's accusations glaring in stark black ink. Defamation, unlawful detention, emotional distress. Nicholas stared at them, the words blurring as rage coursed through him, hot and unyielding. Logan's hand in his felt like an anchor, grounding him amid the whirlwind. A team, the boy had said, his voice small but fierce. Nicholas squeezed back, vowing silently to make it true, no matter the cost. We'll beat this, he said, forcing calm into his tone as he scooped the documents away. Elena's on it. Reyes too. Hargrove's bluffing, throwing mud to see what sticks. But doubt gnawed. The man's phone threat replayed in his mind, laced with greed and malice. Inheritance? It reeked of motive, turning Logan into a pawn in a game of avarice. Logan's eyes, wide with a mix of fear and determination, searched his face. What if he wins? What if I have to go? Nicholas pulled him into a bear hug, the boy's frame slight against his. Not happening. You're home now. The word home tasted real, no longer an abstract echo of loss. He released Logan, ruffling his hair. How about we bake those cookies Claire loved? Chocolate chip, messy, but worth it. The distraction worked, Logan's face brightening as they raided the pantry. Flour dusted the counters, laughter erupting when Logan cracked an egg too hard, yolk splattering. Nicholas guided his hands, measuring ingredients with exaggerated precision, turning the chaos into creation. See? Fold, don't stir. Keeps them chewy. The oven's warmth filled the kitchen, banishing the chill of impending battle, if only for a moment. As cookies baked, Nicholas's phone lit up. Reyes. Witness is solid. Neighbor Mrs. Ellis saw Hargrove drag Logan inside once, heard screams. She's willing to testify. But get this, Hargrove's in deep with loan sharks. Word is he's using the custody play to access the kid's trust. Small policy from the grandpa, but enough to pay debts. Nicholas glanced at Logan, who was licking dough from a spoon, oblivious. Any proof linking him to worse? Working on it. Stay vigilant. He's desperate. Reyes hung up, leaving Nicholas to ponder. Desperate men did desperate things. The timer dinged, pulling him back. They plated the cookies, steam rising in sweet invitation. Logan bit into one, eyes closing in bliss. Best. Claire would like 'em. Nicholas's throat tightened. She would. Sharing her memory with Logan felt like honoring her, bridging past and present. They moved to the living room, munching by the fire, Logan's questions turning personal. Did Claire want kids? Yeah, Nicholas admitted, flames reflecting in his eyes. We were trying. Then, the crash. He paused, vulnerability surfacing. I blamed myself, working too much, not there when she needed me. Logan set his cookie down, serious. Grandpa blamed himself for Mom and Dad. Said if he'd driven that night, he trailed off then. It's not your fault. Accidents happen. The wisdom from such a young soul pierced Nicholas. You're right, and you're not going anywhere. But as night fell, resolve met reality. Elena called with strategy. File countersuit tomorrow. Abuse, endangerment. With the ER records and witness, we've got traction. But Hargrove's lawyer is slick. Expect dirt on you. Your workaholic rep, the isolation post-Claire. Let him try, Nicholas growled. I'm all in. Sleep eluded him that night, the mansion's silence broken only by creaks and whispers of wind. He checked on Logan twice. finding him peaceful, the model car on his nightstand like a sentinel. Dawn brought Sarah with forms, temporary guardianship papers. Sign here. It buys time till the hearing. Logan watched warily as Nicholas inked his name, the pen scratching like fate's decree. Does this mean I'm yours? For now, Sarah said gently. Court decides permanent. The day blurred into preparation. Elena's office downtown, a stark conference room where they prepped Logan for questions. Be honest, she coached. Tell your truth. Logan nodded, but fidgeted. What if they don't believe me? They will, Nicholas assured, hand on his shoulder. As they left, Reyes met them in the lobby, folder in hand. Got more. Hargrove's been spotted near Detroit, asking around about you, your routine, the estate. A chill ran down Nicholas's spine. Stalking? Likely. I'll beef up security. Reyes handed over photos, grainy shots of a burly man in a battered truck, Hargrove's face unmistakable, scowling from the driver's seat. Nicholas's protective instincts roared. Keep eyes on him. If he comes near... Understood. Reyes departed, leaving Nicholas to shield Logan from the escalating threat. They drove home circuitously, Nicholas's gaze flicking to mirrors, paranoia creeping. At the estate, he activated the full security system. Cameras whirring, gates locked. Inside, Logan sensed the shift. Is he coming here? Not if I can help it. Nicholas was distracted with a game. Chess, teaching moves with car analogies. Pawns like a starter engine, slow but essential. Logan caught on quickly, checkmating him in a surprise twist. You're a shark! But victory was short-lived. Evening brought a pounding at the gate. Hargrove, brazen and uninvited. Nicholas monitored via camera, the man's face red with fury. Harper, send the kid out. He's mine. Logan froze, terror etching his features. Nicholas hit the intercom. Leave now, or cops haul you away. Hargrove sneered. You stole him. That money's owed. Family debt. He rattled the gate, then tossed something over. A crumpled letter, landing with a thud. Security sirens wailed as Hargrove fled, tires screeching. Nicholas retrieved the envelope outside, heart pounding. Inside, a faded photo of Logan's parents. Scrawled note. Blood calls. You'll pay. Logan peeked at it, trembling. That's Mom and Dad. How'd he get that? Nicholas crushed the paper. Doesn't matter, he's desperate. But the intrusion shattered their sanctuary. Police arrived, taking statements, promising patrols. As they left, Nicholas barricaded emotionally, holding Logan close. He won't touch you. Midnight found Nicholas awake, researching Hargrove's debts online, confirming Reyes's intel. A plan formed. Expose him financially, linked to coercion. But Logan's nightmare cries pierced the night. No, Uncle, stop! Nicholas rushed in, soothing him. Just a dream. Logan clung. It felt real. Promise you'll win? I promise. But as dawn crept, doubts festered. Hargrove's boldness signaled escalation. What next? Kidnapping? Lies in court? The hearing loomed, a battlefield where truths would clash. Nicholas steeled himself. For Logan, he'd fight to the end. But shadows deepened, whispering of revelations that could shatter everything. The estate's security lights cast elongated shadows across the driveway, turning the familiar grounds into a fortress under siege as Nicholas double-checked the locks and alarms for the third time that night. Hargrove's crumpled note burned a hole in his pocket, its scrawled threat a tangible reminder that the battle had shifted from legal maneuvering to something far more personal and dangerous. Logan's nightmare cries still echoed in his ears, the boy's vulnerability a stark contrast to the resilient facade he wore during the day. Nicholas sank into the study chair, the leather creaking under his weight, and opened his laptop to scour the latest from Reyes, surveillance footage of Hargrove's truck lurking near the museum earlier. Grainy but unmistakable, sleep was a distant dream, replaced by a vigil fueled by black coffee and determination. As dawn painted the sky in hesitant grays, Nicholas heard footsteps. Logan padding down the stairs in pajamas, eyes puffy from unrest. Couldn't sleep either, the boy asked, climbing onto the ottoman with a yawn that belied his worry. Nicholas managed a smile, closing the laptop to shield him from the images. Just planning our next move. How about we start the day right? Pancakes again? With blueberries this time. Logan's nod was half-hearted, but the routine grounded them. In the kitchen, Nicholas whisked batter while Logan set the table. Their movements synchronized like a well-oiled engine. Tell me a story about Claire, Logan prompted, flipping a stool to reach the plates. Something fun. Nicholas paused, the request unlocking a vault of memories. She loved road trips. Once we drove cross-country in a prototype. Broke down in the desert. She turned it into an adventure, stargazing till help came. Said breakdowns build character. He poured batter onto the griddle, the sizzle a comforting rhythm. She'd have loved you. Your curiosity, your grit. Logan beamed, stacking pancakes high. Think she'd like our team? Absolutely. Breakfast passed in shared tales, Nicholas weaving Claire's spirit into their bond, making her a silent ally in the fight. But reality intruded with Elena's call. Hearings moved up. Tomorrow, Hargrove's pushing hard, claiming you're influencing the kid unduly. Nicholas's fork clattered. Tomorrow? We need more time. It's a prelim. Logan's testimony could sway it. Prep him well. She hung up, leaving Nicholas to face the boy. Big day coming. Court tomorrow. You'll tell the judge about Uncle Mike. The truth. Logan's face paled, but he straightened. I'll do it. For us. The resolve in his voice tugged at Nicholas's heart, a reminder of the stakes. Not just custody, but healing two shattered lives. They spent the morning fortifying, role-playing questions with Sarah, who arrived with practice scripts. What happened when he hit you? She asked softly. Logan recounted, voice steadying with each retell. The belt, the broken arm, the lies. Nicholas listened, pride swelling amid the pain. You're brave, kid. Braver than me. The afternoon brought Rhea's bombshells. Hargrove's truck was spotted near your office. And get this, he's got a PI tailing you. Photos of you and Logan at the museum. He slid over prints. Innocent snapshots twisted into evidence of kidnapping. Nicholas's fists clenched. Counter it. Sue for harassment. Already filing. Reyes eyed Logan, playing nearby with the model car. Kid's tough, but watch your back. Hargrove's desperate. Might try something stupid. The warning lingered as they prepped dinner. Grilled cheese, simple comfort. Logan helped slice bread, his chatter turning to fears. What if the judge doesn't believe me? What if I mess up? Nicholas set the knife down, turning to him. You won't. Just be you. The kid who survived hell and still smiles. He pulled Logan into a hug, the boy's arms wrapping tight. We're in this together. Family fights for family. The word hung, solidifying their pact. Evening deepened with a movie marathon, action flicks where heroes triumphed against odds. Logan dozed midway, head on Nicholas's lap. Carrying him to bed, Nicholas whispered, Tomorrow we win. But midnight brought unrest. A noise outside, rustling bushes. Nicholas bolted up, checking cameras. A figure skulking near the gate, Hargrove's build. He hit the alarm, lights flooding the yard as the intruder fled. Police arrived swiftly, but the man vanished, leaving footprints and a dropped glove. Monogrammed MH. Adrenaline pumping, Nicholas called Reyes. It's him. Escalating. Patrol's en route. Stay inside. The call ended, but sleep evaded. Nicholas sat by Logan's door, guardian against the night. Dawn arrived tense, the hearing a looming specter. They dressed sharp, Nicholas in a suit, Logan in new clothes that made him look older, more vulnerable. Breakfast was quiet, nerves taut. Ready? Nicholas asked, squeezing his shoulder. Ready. Logan's voice held steel. The courthouse loomed, a monolithic structure of stone and justice. Inside, the hearing room buzzed. Elena prepped at the table, Sarah nearby. Hargrove entered, disheveled but defiant, his lawyer smirking. Logan's hand tightened in Nicholas's. That's him. The judge called order. Proceedings unfolding. Elena presented evidence, ER records, witness statements, Hargrove's rap sheet. My client offers stability, Your Honor. Hargrove's unfit, abuse, debts, threats. Hargrove's side countered, blood relative. Harper's a stranger, exploiting the boy. Then Logan's turn. He took the stand, small but unbowed. Uncle Mike hurt me. Belt, arm broken. I ran 'cause I was scared. His voice cracked, but his eyes met the judge's. Nicholas is good. He cares. Like a dad. The room hushed, emotion thick. Hargrove glared, but the judge nodded. Compelling. Temporary custody to Harper pending full investigation. No contact from Hargrove. Relief flooded Nicholas as they exited, Logan's grin triumphant. We did it! For now, Elena cautioned. Full hearing in weeks, but strong start. Celebration called. Ice cream downtown. Logan's choice. Laughter flowed, but Nicholas's phone buzzed. An anonymous text. You won round one, but families forever. Watch your back. Hargrove's shadow persisted. A venomous promise. As they drove home, Nicholas eyed mirrors. Paranoia justified. What desperation would Hargrove unleash next? Blackmail? Break-in? The victory felt hollow, a prelude to greater storms. But Logan's hand in his fueled the fight. For this boy, he'd face hell itself. Yet secrets simmered, whispering of twists that could upend it all. The courthouse steps baked under the relentless afternoon sun. Heat waves shimmering off the concrete as Nicholas and Logan emerge. The weight of the preliminary victory, a fleeting shield against the full hearing's impending storm. Elena flanked them, her briefcase swinging with purpose, while Sarah trailed behind, notes in hand. Logan's hand gripped Nicholas's tighter than ever, the boy's face a mask of relief tinged with lingering fear. We won? He asked again, voice barely above the city's hum. For today, Nicholas replied, steering him toward the parked SUV, its tinted windows a promise of sanctuary. The air conditioning blasted as they climbed in, cooling sweat-slicked skin, but the tension inside remained thick. Hargrove's anonymous text burned in Nicholas's mind, a veiled promise of retribution that turned every shadow suspect. Full hearings in 2 weeks. We build our case stronger. Logan nodded, staring out at passing buildings. I told the truth. Why isn't that enough? Nicholas met his eyes in the rear view. It will be. You've got a team now. Me, Elena, Sarah. Hargrove's crumbling. But words masked his unease. Reyes's updates painted a man unraveling. Hargrove dodging debts, his truck spotted circling the estate's perimeter. Desperation bred recklessness. Back home, the mansion welcomed them with cool marble and the faint scent of lemon polish from the cleaner's visit. Logan dashed to the kitchen for water, while Nicholas checked voicemails. Reyes, Hargrove's gone underground. No sightings, but chatter says he's plotting something big. Stay alert. Elena texted next. Prep session tomorrow. Bring Logan's drawings. Show stability. The boy had taken to sketching cars, vibrant designs that captured his budding creativity, a testament to the home Nicholas provided. Dinner was celebratory. Takeout pizza, extra cheese, eaten on the patio as fireflies danced in the twilight. Logan chattered about the hearing, mimicking the judge's stern tone, drawing laughs from Nicholas. You were a rock star up there, he said, high-fiving the boy. Claire would have been proud. Logan's smile faltered. Think she'll watch the big one? From wherever? Nicholas's heart swelled. Every minute. They cleared plates, the night deepening with stars emerging like hopeful beacons. Bedtime brought stories, racing legends evolving into tales of heroes overcoming villains, metaphors not lost on either. But peace was shattered at 2 a.m. Alarms blared, red lights pulsing through the house. Nicholas bolted upright, grabbing his phone. Security breach at the gate. Logan, stay in your room, he shouted, racing downstairs, heart thundering. The boy appeared at the landing, wide-eyed. What's happening? Intruder, hide, closet now. Nicholas dialed 911, then Reyes, as cameras revealed a figure scaling the fence. Hargrove, crowbar in hand, face twisted in fury. Sirens wailed in the distance, but Hargrove smashed a window, glass shattering like thunder. Nicholas grabbed a baseball bat from the hall closet, Claire's old softball relic, and positioned himself at the base of the stairs. Get out! Cops are coming! Hargrove burst through, eyes wild, reeking of desperation and booze. Where's the kid? That money's mine. You rich prick stole it? Logan's family now, Nicholas growled, bat raised. Leave, or I end this. Hargrove lunged, crowbar swinging. Nicholas dodged, the metal glancing off the banister with a crack. Adrenaline surged. He swung back, connecting with Hargrove's arm, eliciting a yelp. They grappled, furniture toppling as Logan peeked from upstairs, terror frozen on his face. Uncle Mike, stop! The boy cried, voice piercing the chaos. Hargrove hesitated, spotting him. Logan, come here. We're going home. No! Logan shouted, descending a step. You're mean! Nicholas is my dad. The distraction gave Nicholas an opening. He tackled Hargrove, pinning him as sirens crescendoed. Police swarmed in, cuffing the intruder. Hargrove spitting curses. You'll regret this. He's mine. As they hauled him away, Nicholas enveloped Logan in a hug, the boy's sobs shaking them both. It's over. He's gone. Reyes arrived with the cops, coordinating statements. Assault, breaking, plus the threats. He's done. Dawn broke as paperwork wrapped, exhaustion claiming them. But the incident sealed Hargrove's fate. Arrest records bolstering their case, his desperation exposed. The full hearing dawned tense, the courtroom packed. Elena poised, Sarah supportive, witnesses lined up. Hargrove, shackled and sullen from jail, glared daggers. The judge reviewed evidence. Abuse scars, financial motives, and the break-in. Logan's testimony shone, poised, heartfelt. Nicholas saved me. He's family. Hargrove's defense crumbled, his outburst damning him further. The gavel fell. Custody denied to Hargrove. Guardianship to Harper, with adoption path cleared. Jubilation erupted, Elna hugging them, Sarah beaming. Outside, under clear skies, Logan leaped into Nicholas's arms. We're official? Official? Nicholas laughed, tears mingling. Welcome home, son. Weeks blurred into resolution. Adoption papers signed, Hargrove imprisoned for assault and extortion. Nicholas integrated Logan fully. School enrollment, therapy sessions, healing old wounds. Apex thrived, but Nicholas cut hours, prioritizing fatherhood, park outings, car-building weekends, Logan's designs inspiring a kid-friendly prototype. One evening, as sunset painted the patio golden, Logan presented a drawing, a family portrait, him, Nicholas, and Claire's likeness watching over. Our team, he said. Nicholas pulled him close. Forever. The past shadows faded, replaced by light. Two souls forged in fire, unbreakable. But as stars emerged, a final whisper lingered. An envelope arrived, anonymous. Old photos of Logan's parents, with a note, truths untold. Ask about the accident. Nicholas tucked it away, unease flickering. What buried secrets remained? For now their bond held, but fate's wheel turned, hinting at storms beyond the horizon. As the final chapter closes on Nicholas and Logan's journey, their story, a tapestry woven from loss, resilience, and the unexpected gift of family, leaves echoes in the heart. From a chance encounter on a snowy Christmas Eve to a hard-fought triumph against shadows of the past, Nicholas, the driven CEO, and Logan, the orphaned boy, transformed their pain into an unbreakable bond. The trials they faced, Hargrove's menacing threats, the courtroom battles, the quiet moments of trust, painted a portrait of hope reborn, proving that even in the darkest winters, love can thaw the coldest nights. Yet that lingering envelope hints at secrets still buried, teasing questions that may reshape their future. What did this tale stir in you? Did Nicholas and Logan's fight for family resonate with your own experiences of loss or redemption? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share where you're listening from, and what time it is there. Your guesses for what lies ahead in their story fuel the magic of storytelling. A heartfelt thank you for joining us on this emotional ride. Your presence makes these moments shine brighter. Subscribe to catch the next chapter of their saga or more stories that tug at the soul. Until we meet again, keep seeking the light in your winter nights. Farewell for now.